All right.
So you're taking over as writer of Transformers?
Yes, I am.
Was it just got to the point where, man, these guys were doing a good job, but I can be back?
Definitely not. Definitely not. We knew from the get-go that Daniel was going to do a 24-issue run. That was what he felt like he needed to tell the story he wanted to tell. And we held out hope that we'd be able to, coerce him into staying, but it was a very long process getting to that end, and there was a very long period of time where I knew that there was going to be somebody that needed to step in on issue 25 to continue telling these stories, and, I didn't know if I was going to have time. I really wanted to do it. I've loved these characters for as long as I can remember, but I've got the Invincible show, I've got the Battle Beast comic, was already doing Void Rivals, I've got Skinbreaker launching, I've got a lot going on. Not an ideal time, but I was like, I gotta do it. I love these characters too much. I was, putting together the beginning elements of the Energon universe and figuring out all the starting points for these characters, and had a rough roadmap for Daniel to kind of follow when he was introducing the characters and writing the first issues of Transformers, and it just felt right to come in and guide these characters that I've loved for so long. So, at the end of the day, I was like, I can work nights and weekends. It'll be fine.
You referenced some of your other projects, your franchises you've created kind of new. Talk about the difference between working with your own Invincible, Walking Dead, and working within an existing IP.
I mean, I find it easier because there's a lot of stuff that's already done for you. They're not entirely different because with Transformers and Void Rivals and all the Energon Universe books, we're trying to present these characters in a new light, tell different stories with them, come at these characters from angles you wouldn't expect, and really kind of, present them in a different way. So we're trying to drill down to the new in all of the storytelling that we're trying to do. And so in a lot of ways it is kind of like an original creator-owned thing. And I think the secret sauce of the Energon universe, if I can reveal our internal secrets a little bit, is that we are always trying to find people that will treat these books as if they were their cherished creator-owned project. I think that's true of what Daniel was doing, what Josh is doing, and definitely all the array of artists that are working on the books. And it's definitely true of me. We take these books as seriously, and we put every bit as much effort into these books as we would if they were our creations. So yeah.
You've had a lot of properties turned into toys already, but did it hit a little different seeing your Void Rival creation sitting there boxed with Jetfire of this property that's been around for 40 years? Like, I would lose my mind on that.
It's definitely very bizarre, strange, and surreal. It's like Walking Dead is such a blur. It's like I can't even remember the first time I saw a toy of stuff that I had done. It might have even been Invincible Hero Clicks, like so long ago. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it is different. Void Rivals was something that Lorenzo De Felici and I created to feel as if it could have existed in the 80s and existed alongside G.I. Joe and Transformers from the beginning. And to see them in the 3 1/4 inch like O-ring figures, the way those old G.I. Joe figures were, and to have it next to Jetfire, which was one of my favorites growing up, which is why I used him in the story, is really just, I don't know. It's definitely another pinnacle moment in a lifetime that has had far too many, and I feel really fortunate to have experienced it. But yeah, it really does mean a lot to me to see these characters interacting.
Void Rivals 25 is bringing the quintessence.
Yeah.
The series has been building up to this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think that from issue 3 on, in issue 3 we introduced a quintesson prosecutor in Skuxoid's ship, and that could have seemed like a little Easter egg, but it kind of set us on this journey that kept having us see quintessons and experience quintessons like as the series progressed. And I think once we started revealing the inner workings and origins of the Sacred Ring and how it ties into Cybertronian lore, it came a little bit more clear that there was a lot more going on here, and a lot of it was involving the history of the Quintessons, and yeah, to a certain extent, it has very much been building up to this storyline from the very beginning. But I will say that, that being said, it's not like this is an ending that we're reaching. It very well may be, that we're still very much at the beginning, and this sets us on a bigger journey that is, taking us to some even bigger things. So, I don't know, Void Rivals is a transitional book that's always kind of an evolving story, and I think that the Quintesson storyline is really going to speed things up and push us into a new trajectory that is going to make the book bigger and better in a lot of really cool ways. Thanks. Oh, that sun is killing me. Go ahead.
I love Energon universe, but surprisingly, Void Rivals is my favorite. I have a lot of love for
Thanks.
So it's almost like I'm bringing emotion that's baked in for nostalgia. But I find that I connect about the Void Rivals, the characters, there's so much emotion there, and the fact that the readers are keeping it apart. That's just, it's amazing. I can get my feels.
Yeah.
Intense action. How do you think that you approach that? You don't have the built-in, we don't know these characters, we saw them in concept.
Right.
But yet they reached that level. What do you kind of attribute that to?
I mean, I think that Lorenzo De Felici's design work for all these characters is absolutely amazing. I mean, even down to like the Blastwing vehicle and the jump jets and things. It's like, I would just write, I want them to have a unique vehicle that, could have been a toy in the past. And he's just like, okay, cool. I created this thing. And it's the kind of thing that would take an entire team of people in the 80s and all kinds of notes from department heads. And, well, maybe it should be this, maybe it should be that. And with us, we're just like zipping through this stuff, and he's just, throwing things out. And now that Connor Hughes has drawn the book, he's introducing some things into the world that's really cool. But I don't know. I mean, I think we've been very fortunate. I mean, we tried to backwards engineer Void Rivals to be a thing that, would have fit with them. And I think we really lucked out with some of the decisions we made, because it does seem to kind of dovetail in pretty nicely.
I've given you plenty of credit for the scripts, too. I mean, they're emotional.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
I think we had talked the first year when it came out about enemy line.
Yes.
Definitely got enemy line vibe about that. One of the things I like about Void Rivals is how you slide in Transformers, but they feel like they were the ones that were supposed to be there. You don't have Optimus hanging there. What are your touch points from Transformers culture that you're trying to work through? Because there's been a lot of shows, a lot of movies and versions. Like, what is your Transformers that you're kind of channeling to do?
I mean, I don't know. I was into Transformers from day one. I think that having the, seeing the Autobots on Earth and all that kind of stuff was always very cool. I think that the Transformers movie in 1986 really kind of kicked things off for me in a different way.
Did it scar you like it scarred me?
I mean, I think that you can see those scars in all of my work. I mean, I was 8 years old when I witnessed Optimus Prime's death in a movie theater. It was crazy. And everything about what I want from storytelling can be traced back to that movie, because I want to feel that experience. I want to, have things happen that I could never have anticipated in everything that I experience. And so that's what I try to do in my storytelling. But I don't know, after that movie, I feel like that season 3 stuff that introduced all the sci-fi characters and had more aliens and space stuff and weirdness was, the more sci-fi element of it was just really, really cool. And so I think that's why you can see that stuff cropping up the most in Void Rivals.
Yeah.
But I like all eras of Transformers, so...
you want to share your announcement that you shared at the panel today about who's coming to...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Transformers Animated, so we've announced today at the panel that Bulkhead is going to be a new character entering in Transformers 25. So yeah, and we'll see, more characters like that as we go on that didn't necessarily interact with the G1 characters, in that specific storyline. So, and it'll show that the Energon universe really is going to be an amalgam of so many different elements to these characters' lore that have existed, for many, many years.
So it seems like in a lot of your work it's very similar themes. Walking Dead, Skinbreakers, and Void Rivals is all building off like a society or trying a new direction out of utter crap.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, right. Like they do kind of have a very similar like concept. Is that something that you think about, or is that just like an interesting topic to you?
Well, I mean, I think you could like, am I happy with where, from my perspective, it appears society is going? Not really. I think that there's a lot of things going on in the world that are not ideal, and so when you're writing fiction, you tend to want to do things that are more positive than your experience to play off what people are experiencing, give them kind of hope. I'm trying to write hopeful stories, so I think anyone who is trying to make the world a better place, I think is, that's a worthwhile endeavor, and I think those are worthwhile stories to tell.
Void Rivals 25 is seeing Andre Bresson, Cobra Commander, and a few issues of G.I. Joe hopping on, and of course Transformers 25 fans doing more of it. I'm just like, why these artists? Do you talk to them?
Oh, yeah.
Or do they want to say, hey, I want to draw Transformers?
Yeah, I mean, we get to know all the artists that we work with, and we end up building some kind of a form of a Rolodex where it's like, okay, like who does good action, who does this, who can tell great emotional stories, who does good world building, and we're able to contact them and say, okay, now we need this in the book, or we need that in the book, or things like that. But and it's really just we get to know these people, and we really respect them, and we know that they can do great work, and so anytime that they're available, we try to find something for them. I think that's the case with Andre. Anytime he needs something to draw, Skybound will find something for him because we think he's so great. I mean, he's done Birthright, Dark Ride, Destro, and now Void Rivals for us, among some other things. And yeah, I mean, we always love working with him and continue to do so for a good long time. So we're always on the lookout for great new artists. I think Connor Hughes is another good example of that on Void Rivals now. And yeah, we'll hopefully continue that tradition on Transformers and G.I. Joe and whatever else we're able to do. Cool. Sneak it in.
Yeah, keep going.
Let's go one more.
So she yelled at us.
So specifically with the scripting, right? Because you've been planning along with Daniel the direction of the overall plot.
Yeah.
Transformers. But now you're coming on. How worried are you about consistency of voice and making sure that they sound the same?
Well, that's my job. So yeah, I think that I'm very worried about consistency of voice. I want to assure the fans. I think people were happy with how I wrote Rekgar in Void Rivals 19, and I think I got Wheelie to be like a fairly accurate when he was showing up in Void Rivals. I think that maintaining the established characterizations of these characters is really important to me, and that includes what Daniel was able to do in Transformers before me. Like I said on the panel, this is issue 25 for a reason. It's not a new issue 1. If you would like to not look at the credits page and pretend that there hasn't been a creative changeover in the writer's slot, I am working to try and make that a possibility. Like, I really am trying to take the ball and run with it after Daniel hands it off. I think that that's the way that comics were done traditionally. This new era of every new creative team change is a new issue 1 and a new direction for the book, and everything's going to be different now. I think is not ideal. Some cases it's great, some cases it's not, but I think having a consistency to the run and if a creative team can't write 300 issues, I think the creative teams should put an effort into making sure that those issues are as cohesive as possible. And so that's something that I spend a tremendous amount of time maintaining, because it's something that would be really, really important to me as a fan. And so that's going to make me put the extra time in to make sure that it happens. Cool.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games. you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.